Hello and welcome to the new Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. It's round number 1. It starts at Winton Motor Raceway, 2 hours north of Melbourne in Victoria. It is sunny and warm here, but the racing is super close. Headlined by the TA2 muscle cars. It's great to see the Mustangs, Camaros and Dodgers out on track. They look so ominous as they go around here at Winton Motor Raceway, and they're going to put on some fantastic racing throughout this 2023 season. And let's have a look at the calendar. We kick it off here at Winton Motor Raceway before heading to Hidden Valley Raceway up in Darwin. Then it's the Queensland Raceway. Then we go a little bit further west into Morgan Park Raceway in Queensland, then to Sydney Motorsport Park before we head down to the historic Calder Park to finish the season off. They're getting ready in the pits here to come out on track for the Australian SuperTT Championship. And for race number 4, let's have a look at the starting grid. Scott 9 in the number 1 position, followed by Mark Tracy, Danny Burgess, Josh Hourigan, Robert Marchese, Brent Edwards, Michael Ricketts, Ryan Bell, Trev Drummond, and Mark Granger round out your top 10. Position 11 is Zach O'Hara, then it's Lawrence McKinnon, Nick Petit, Russell Della, Rob Bowden, Martin Doxey, David Bailey, Michael Heppelston, Aaron Lloyd and David Bunton in 20th. And Wade, it's a stacked field here this weekend.
Rolling starts, and it's a pretty good launch. We're underway, not surprisingly. 9 will head down into turn 1, the leader. I fancy the Beamer would be a little bit better under brakes, however.
Definitely does pull up a lot better under brakes, the Beamer there, as they get through turn number 1, and no surprise, they get back to that familiar 1, 2, 3 out on track. Good to see the Astra getting through as well, as we see him go into turn number 3. They're starting to go too wide, a whole list of Falcons, and then of course we get our little E36 BMW under 2 litre class wound in between them. And look at this, Lotus Elise alongside a NASCAR style. Wow, you don't see that every day, do you?
I was just going to say, when you look through the order, you got a BMW, you got Chevy Ostrucks, you got a Silverado, you got AU Falcons, Chevy Luminas, Nissan Pulsars, Lotus Elises, XE Ford Falcons, Holden Astras, just incredible Thunderbirds, and even a Mitsubishi Evo 6, just to make the whole melting pot even more creative. Neat little battle we got going on here. The Beamer has done a nice job. That's the way you do it. Mark Tracy, the BMW E36, now has the race lead. The nimble nature of the Beamer will certainly give it some sort of advantage in different places here.
Yeah, definitely through that cleavage section of the racetrack, but watch for the power though as they come onto the straight. We'll see if they can hold out 9 as they starting to come around one more turn before they head down to the start-finish line to complete the first of 10 laps in this race number 4 of the Australian SuperTT Championship. And look at him, he's got a nice launch out of the corner and he stays in front. We'll see if he can catch him. Maybe he's going to get the winner. This one, Tracy now leading his first time here this weekend in the BMW, and look at him out of turn number 2. So confident, that car's very settled. In the background, the Oz trucks slide around. Burgess and Hourigan, they slide out of 2, and now they come down to 3 hard under brakes, and the lick of flame coming out that right-hand side of the vehicle. The cable source Falcon now in 5th position there of Edwards, and that's a turbocharged Ford motor, of course, in line 6 on board. He's had a couple of dramas in some races earlier today, chasing some mechanical gremlins since they did the engine conversion on this car, looking very comfortable in race 3, and now in race 4, 5th position.
This has got to be a really tricky part of the racetrack for any car. It doesn't matter how balanced your setup is, but working your way through the cleavage, there's so much weight transfer going on from side to side through this series of S-bends. We watch the BNI number 18 car of Edwards, the cable source Falcon. I've got to think to myself that Tracy was a little bit quietly confident about how things could work out in the Twin City Roller Doors Beamer, because that thing is extremely competitive and it's giving Scott 9 plenty of headaches right now.
It might come down to their tyres in race number 4. They've been very hard to beat early on. You can see that 9 now is starting to fall back into the clutches, and Burgess as well, who's ominous in the background in the truck, and they've been 1, 2 and 3 so far this weekend. Of course, Tracy and 9 have changed that around between 1 and 2, but that 5th position there, Edwards just lurking in the background, the XR6. And now we go back. I love this little battle there when you go back. It's going to be Ricketts there. He's battling it out now with Marchese and the Granger right behind, so he's in the middle of that one too, and Ricketts in what is a turbocharged SR24 cylinder in that S14 Pulsar. Obviously Ken Racing production class put together by the Jordan Cox Motorsport. know that name from many other racing pedigrees, and very, very quick car. In the last race, we did see Granger, though, have a couple of off-track excursions which pushed him back down. He has been very strong in the first couple of races, but went back down a little bit in race number 3 there, where he ended up getting all the way back down. Just having a look. He was down in 10th position, so he's had a bit of a move now, up 2 positions.
I love that when you look out there, you see Richard White. It actually looks like a little like Dale Earnhardt. He's even got the Intimidator number 3 livery as he works his way out of that turn number 4. As you said, you got a little bit of something for everyone. The big Motorcraft Falcon looks mean out there as well. This is a good little battle. Ricketts and the Young Car Wash, number 41, putting together a pretty solid drive. We're working lap 3 of 10. And it's the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series Round 1, Australian SuperTT and stock cars. 4th and final race of the weekend. And everybody brings something a little different to the table, where you might be quicker than, oh, look at this, this is a good example. Now 9 was the quickest lap before, 1:29.37, so it was a third of a second quicker than Tracy on the previous lap. World's fastest Fire Brigade BMW. It's got that, very much that Fire Brigade look about it, doesn't it? The Twin City Roller Doors entry. Thing is quick though. 9 trying to wind up the Mustang. So head towards turn 5, this sweeping left-hander.
Now Mark Tracy, though, has marked up that front side with that big brake lock up we saw earlier, so 9 might be able to take advantage of this. He's not going to be able to through this section. You'd think the mid BMW there, although it's got the LS conversion, a little bit heavier in the front, the chassis set up on those cars going to be advantageous as they go through this really windy section down the back. We come onto the main straight, and that's where it's really going to be 9, whether he can apply the pressure.
Just got on the anchors and then the gas a little too early. The totally stepped out. There's the Earnhardt lookalike Goodwrench number 3 car, beautifully turned out.
Martin Doxey, though, in the turbocharged Astra. That's, when have you ever thought of that? You're going to see a turbocharged Astra take on a NASCAR-style Dale Earnhardt livery here on track, but it's right here at the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series. And let's have a look. They go side by side. They're going to go around one of the back markers there. And look at 9. He's got one wheel almost in the grass.
He just took the lead there. Wow. 9, what an incredible place to make the pass. They went either side of the lap car, and he ended up in front in all that. A 1:29.12 was his fastest lap, and the Mustang is now starting to look very good. The stock car, Tracy trying to come back at him. Good little race, lap 5 of 10.
Look at Tracy using every little bit of the ripple strip. Moving the car side to side out there on track. The big left-hand sweeper there. They get up on the edge of the tyre. Wow, you can see how much profile showing there on the BMW as the weight transfer happens on the right-hand side of the car. Go through this back section, you'll see Tracy really close the gap up here. He won't want to let 9 get away too far. See how wide he goes. Tries to set himself up so he gets a straight run on here. Yep, there you go. Turns around the corner. Tries to square it off. Get a run. Still going through some of these under 2-litre BMWs in the background, the 1.8-litre BMWs as part of the Australia SuperTT Championship.
Gee, I'm really impressed with the drive from 9 right now. Getting quicker as this race wears on. Tracy in 2nd, Burgess in 3rd, Hourigan, Edwards, Marchese. Once again, another really different brand of car out there, the Evo, having a bit of a crack.
Yeah, 9th position, Trev Drummond now, and he's battling out with the 370Z, and Ryan Bell now going to come back down the inside. They are really tussling it out now for position number 9.
That could have got ugly.
It could have. They're going down. Who's going to be the one under brakes into turn number 10? The left-hander. Bell has to let Drummond just go through on this one. He can't fight back to as they exit out of turn number 10. Coming around to complete lap number 6, these two drivers. Ryan Bell last time was fighting it out with the little Nissan Pulsar of Ricketts. He's not quite there this race. It's great to see the Nissan side-by-side going at it. So he's had a fantastic weekend. Ryan Bell, making sure he goes door to door. He's had some sort of entertainment, I suppose, some sort of race with somebody throughout the weekend. Rob Bowden, who's the number 1 in the under 2-litre Trent class, that you see him on screen doing a fantastic job there in the BMW.
Oh no!
Look at the amount of grass.
Yeah.
He he's just
That's not going to be good.
taken so much in the radiator. How hot is that car now going to get, Wade, with all that grass in front? No airflow going over that. Tracy.
Do you know what's amazing is now that his tyres have really started to heat up on 9, he's now down onto a 127.93. So he has really stepped it up, and maybe there was that little bit of extra pressure that he was putting on to drive away from Tracy that's really become quite telling in that result. So Burgess now, maybe he can start to try and run down our race leader, though he's about 7.5 seconds off the pace of our race leader, the Intercontinental Services number 16 car. Can't believe how much he's really stepped it up.
Well, just under 4 laps to go, and Mark Tracy now, we're going to have to see whether that is going to come into play, that amount of grass in front of the car. This is cool, though, the Lotus Elise there going through, and of course he's got the supercharged Honda engine on board, so it really screams as it goes down the straight. Hear the whine of the supercharger as he gets involved in plenty of on-track action. David Bunton there in the Lotus.
Moves out of the way very nicely and obligingly. That allows Tracy to scoot around the outside in the Beamer. I wonder what caused that he ended up off track and with a radiator full of dry grass. Either way, it's not what you want. You want as much airflow as you can in these very warm conditions. So he went off the track quite early before the left-hander. So it comes back on, but I'm sure that we know really what started all that.
16, strong commanding lead now in the race number 4 for the Australian TT Championship here at the Hi-Tec All Super Series, Winton Motor Raceway.
I really thought this was going to be a battle that would go on for the entire race. I'm kind of a bit surprised. I thought Tracy had something for him particularly early, but Scotty has been the form guide this weekend. That Twin City Roller Doors entry was certainly a nuisance early to Scott 9, Mark Tracy in the BMW E36. Danny Burgess in the Chevy Ostruck is in third. Mark Cheesy in the High Winds Olives Chevy Silverado. Silverado is like Silverado. It's just a different word that's said correctly. Then you go back to Brent Edwards in the Cable Source Ford Falcon XR6. Mark Granger, of course, in the Peterman Automotive Ford Falcon AU. 27 car on screen. Good to see so many of the NASCARs getting around out there, the old stock cars.
Yeah, Zach O'Hara, who's in 9th. Well, I think he's gone past. Oh, sorry, he's in 9th position at the moment.
Yeah.
Bell just behind him in the Evo and the 370Z. Your leader out there now, the number 16 Infinity.
Another 1 lap to go, Matty Cav. This has been a business-like weekend, that is for sure. The Stang in very, very good touch as he heads towards turn 5, about to put a lap on the Beamer. That sweeping left-hander, he moves to the outside. Nice work, too, to just stay out of the way. It's Aaron Lloyd in the Pascal Group Murphy's Tyre Power BMW E36, the under 2-litre version.
They've got their own little category going on within the category this weekend. Of course, the E36 Championship that they all compete in as well. You see Rob Bowden with the number 1 on the side. Commanding lead, though, for 9 as he goes around. Mark Tracy, well, he's going to want to get in the pits. He's in second position again. It's cleared a little bit. He has a little bit too far away from them, only about half a second a lap. And of course, he's got his young fella coming out in the trophy class for the Hyundai Excels next race as well. So Tracy crew down there, very busy this weekend.
Absolutely. 9 is about to wrap things up. It has been a solid weekend. He certainly had the pressure early from Tracy, from this man on screen, but he'll have to watch Scotty get this win in the end by almost 8 seconds, and that's largely due to the fact that the BMW went agricultural earlier on. Congratulations to Scott 9. He will get the win. And the LCS trailer Thermo King Ford NASCAR Mustang.
Mark Tracy behind him in the V8-powered BMW. Danny Burgess in the Oz truck in third, and we'll be interviewing them very, very shortly. We've had a few chats with them this weekend. Josh Hourigan behind in fourth position, moves up a place from last race. Brent Edwards there in fifth. Robert McKeesey in sixth. Mark Granger comes back from 10th position to be in seventh. Michael Ricketts, Zach O'Hara and Ryan Bell round out your top 10.
As we turn the page, in 11th position is Ryan Bell, and rounding out your top 20 is Aaron Lloyd. Let's head down to Steve, though, with our round 1 winner.
Well done, round winner.
Yeah, thanks very much. Just trying to give it to those stock cars out there. Just ran out a bit of brakes down the bottom, and the brake pedal in just a bit far. I didn't heel and toe it, and I just didn't collect that gear. But it was a great race. It was a great race. I got in front to start, and just to hold him up. But that thing's got way too much horsepower. But you know, it is. You don't need the horsepower to win the races either.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, after round one, let's have a look at our championship standings. In the over 2 litre slicks, Mark Tracy. Over 2 litre treaded, Ryan Bell. Under 2 litre slicks, Martin Doxey. Under 2 litre treaded, Michael Ricketts. And in Stock Cars Australia, number 1, Scott Nines, Danny Burgess and Josh Hourigan rounding out your top 3. We're going to go to a short break up next, but do not go anywhere, because coming your way, the RX8 Cup. Welcome back to round number 1 of the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series from Winton Motor Raceway, and it's the RX8 Cup about to come your way. Race number 4 for the weekend, all thanks to Yellow Express, the man with a van, as you can see up on your screen there, Justin Lewis, having a fantastic weekend. Let's have a look at how it's going to start, though. Ryan Gorton, hard charging, made his way back up into the number 1 position for this race. And it's Justin Barnes in second. Justin Lewis, Yellow Express entry in third. Luke Webber, Jack Panaccia, Ben Shaw, Ben Silverstro, Miles Bergoglio, Thomas Derwin and Terence Lewis round out your top 10. Terence having a up and down day out on track. We saw him start a little bit further up the field, but he's worked his way back down. Let's see how he goes. Jackson Noakes is in 11th position. Then it's William Ham, David Grice, Martin Lyle, Ash McConchie from the New Zealander that's made his way across to be part of this weekend. Maisie Place in 16th. Tom Shaw out with mechanical issues.
So here we go. Well, let's see how Gorton goes on the inside. We've seen how quick he has been this weekend. The Yellow Express RX8 Cup race number 4 about to get underway here at the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series round number 1 at Winton Motor Raceway. On the outside of him, of course, it is Barnes. And can he come around the outside? We'll have to wait and see if he can do the work in the just-in-time auto glass entry.
This cloud cover has really helped to keep the weather temperature down a bit. Oh, ripping start in the end for the 15 car of Gorton. Just well and truly clear enough to even move over to the right and set up his own apex. That is a textbook start, that's for sure. This is lap 1 of 8. Listen to that. Plenty of RPMs, plenty of competitive cars, and a very, very good little series. The Yellow Express RX8 series. It is busy going into turn number 3 right now. Side by side right there. Your leader opening up a nice little advantage as well. Already is Ryan Gorton.
Yeah, and of course he's fallen back into second position there. Justin Barnes now exactly where they started. We look back a bit further back. Panaccio now is down in, well, he's moved back down to 5th position there. You've got to watch out though, the 26 Webber just in front of him.
Yeah, Luke got a really good run just then into that right-hander. They worked their way through the cleavage section here at Winton. Great to have your company. It's round 1 of the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. And man, there's going to be some amazing geography we're going to cover this year in the series, Matty Cav. We head to the TA2 muscle cars are pumped to be going to Darwin, to the top end for Hidden Valley Raceway. That's going to be an amazing weekend. Queensland Raceway for round 3 on the June 2 to 4 weekend. Morgan Park, which always turns out some great racing in July. Sydney Motorsport Park under lights. That'll be in October. Hoping to get to the Bend as well. That round in October, late October. And then Calder Park Raceway. Heading back to the spiritual home of Australian NASCAR racing. Not on the Super Speedway, but right next to
same venue. Yeah, that's all that matters. You're still going to drive in those gates and get that sense as we move on to lap 2 of the Yellow Express RX8 Cup. And I love as they gear down in these cars, we get the leg of flame come out of that exhaust. We look back, Terry Lewis now fighting it out. You can see he is down in 7th position at the moment. He was battling out. He got a 4th place in race number 2 earlier.
Gee, Miles,
unfortunately fell back down the field a little bit.
Miles Bergoglio really had a crack at the ripple strip just then coming through turn 1 and 2. Somebody off the edge of the racetrack just a bit out of turn 4. And these cars too would be very big in momentum. If you scrub off any kind of speed, you're going to drop a ton of ground. Neat little battle going on about 5th and 6th. Panaccia, Shaw, Lewis, Bergoglio, Silvestro, Derwent. That's your top 10. Back to Lyle, Noakes, Grice, Ham, and McConchie.
Yeah, Justin Lewis just goes past, and he's had a very successful this weekend, getting on the podium in every race so far. We'll see if he can hold on to that one in third position. Luke Webber will try and challenge him. There's a fair bit of gap back to him, you see, in that blue car before he's got Panacho right behind him. And Ben Shaw was challenging Panacho last race to see if he could get a manoeuvre done in the last couple of laps, and he's still there in the background right behind him, though. Terry Lewis is looking for a comeback in this race. It was very unfortunate. Race number 3 just kept going a little bit wide, dropped back through the field. I feel like he might have had some sort of issue in the car. And the rotary motion number 29, but he is very quick out there, and of course works on his brother's car, Justin Lewis, who's up in front in a former production car winner back in the 90s.
Wow, were you even born then?
Just.
Leave that alone. Oh, I do love that, as you said before, that lick of flame. Wow, plenty of attitude just then from Panaccia in the 4 car. Turn 1 and 2, they're fully committed. You come down that straightaway and then just kick her in. They're very forgiving, the RX-8. It's a very nimble package. Can't miss the Yellow Express number 50, can you, of Lewis? That thing really looks mean.
He'll have the shades on in the car as well. I think he comes with about 20 different sunglasses.
Is that right?
Yeah, he likes to change them up. We'll see what he does if he can get on the podium, whether he's got a new set on here this afternoon. But side by side as they go through, it looks like Terry Lewis having a go at Ben Shaw out there. Might not get the move done. No, he doesn't, as he heads through the cleavage section of the racetrack after turn number 7.
It's a good battle, though. That battle on screen just there, coming towards us now to this one here. This is a ripping battle. The rotary motion entry. This is really going on. Terrence Lewis battling hard with Ben Shaw. I think that right now is probably the pick of the litter when it comes to race battles. There they are, swinging in. Turn 10. Lewis just trying to keep the momentum up. If you can get a good run off that corner. We're working lap 3, about to be lap 4 of 8. Gordon is just blitzing 1:38.04 on lap number 2 compared to a 1:38.6 for Barnes. Lewis, Webber, Panaccia, Shaw, Lewis, Proculio backed into Silvestro and Derwent in that 54 car.
I don't know how Ryan Gordon's doing. He's picked the pace up again. The only car to do a 1:37 in this race so far. So he is going 0.7 of a second faster on that last lap. As you look at this, Lewis now under a bit of pressure there from Luke Webber, and he pulls up alongside him, puts a nose in, and Lewis shuts it down. Make sure he closes it for him. Of course, the Yellow Express RX-8 in the way, and in the meantime, Panaccio now is coming up behind from 5th position. He can make 2 places here if these guys don't play nice out on track.
Even if they do play nice, he's still got half a chance. This is very good. Last couple of races have been absolute belters, Matty Cav. It's going to be a big year ahead. Don't forget to get around all the socials on the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. Get across Facebook and Insta and all the socials, all the WWWs, and check out all the actions. We give you a rundown of all the points. It's a very arty shot, that one.
I do like this here as they come around turn number, what's the middle section there? Turn number 8 it is. They go around and we're checking out the cars now. Looks like Terry Lewis has got the move done on Ben Shaw as well to move up into 6th position. Reguglio now putting a lot of pressure onto Shaw, and that's going to be a fantastic fight now for 7th position in the background as well. We'll watch that as we go. In the meantime, let's head back to this battle for 3rd position with Justin Lewis looking for another podium. Luke Webber, the man from Cootamundra, out there, got his mechanical business. Loves racing the RX-8 Cup, enjoys it. Had a big day yesterday. Said the heat really took it out of him.
This is going to be entertaining. I get the feeling here, particularly down to this corner. This has been very, very hot so far, and I think it's going to get even hotter. This battle right here, this left-hander is not quite as close as I thought he would be just there.
I think some of the difference with these vehicles is they've still got ABS on board as well. When you look at the engine bay of an RX-8 Cup car, it's almost stock. You can't tell the difference between that and a road-going car. So still with the full ABS package means they can brake really late, and look at him, wants to get right on the back of Lewis Webber.
Come on, have a crack, son.
Oh, there's got to be a corner coming up soon. Panaccio in the background, will he just try and go past both of them if he can get a good run? Maybe that's the go. The man with the van, though, Justin Lewis, holding on to 3rd position at the moment. Grabs a little bit of curve and he slides the car out. We saw this as the race went on.
Pressure.
Last time.
That's all it is pressure. And now that Dale Patterson Motorsport entry of Jack Panaccia coming right on in that 4 car. So this is a ripping battle. We're working lap 5 of 8. Getting to the business end, and all of a sudden, the DPM car is closing in. This is a great Great race. 3 of a minute.
You can see Ryan Gordon and Justin Barnes have just extended their lead in first and second. Look at that, 4.5 seconds between Gordon and Barnes and another 3 seconds back to Lewis. But it is that real battle for third position. Let's have a look as we get back down the pack a little bit here with the 85 car there of Ben Silvestro in 9th position. Derwent just behind him.
And Miles Bragulio out there as well in that Penrite car. We come back to the main straightaway. We get onto lap 6 of 8. This time, Webber is closer this time. So has he got anything under brakes? For Webber, Lewis, those two, that battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Here we go again. Not quite close enough. I'd say the 50 car is really good. Lewis is really, really good in 1 and 2. This is where you just see Webber come back in him a bit in this section here, but turn 1 and 2 is critical at this place.
Ben Shawnee having another go at Terry Lewis. It's like he's had a little bit of a rest there, got his composure back at the Optus RX-8, and we see him starting to challenge a little bit for that position as well. This is a nice little battle though. Of course, it is the number 42 car, Thomas Derwent, with Lyle behind him.
Just notice as well the Smart Boating Racing entries. There's 2 of them out there underneath that brand. David Grice and Marty Lyle. Looking back now as the tyre wear starts to become a factor. Here comes that 60. Uh-oh! Through the dust. And it's the 82 car of Ash McConchie. The Maisie Place Motorsport entry out of New Zealand. Beached Esbro.
Beached as. He's had a big travel over here, and he did say that they are slightly different races, the RX-8 Cup over in New Zealand, and hopefully we are going to see some of our drivers go over and back and forth and be part of some of the series throughout 2024.
He might have got into the wall as such for that. I know that TA2 are looking to possibly expand into New Zealand as well with a round or so of the championship there. So here's a look back. Oh, all by himself. And crunch. There's what it was. So it just swapped ends.
Here we go, though. It is Luke Webber wants to get in that 3rd position and finish with a podium here in race number 4. But Gordon out in the lead, getting up on the ripple strip. Final lap for him as well. He just needs to keep it together. He's almost out on the dirt. I reckon there's about 2 inches of tyre hanging over the edge of the track. Out on the ripple strip as he runs it wide, and the dust flicks up again there, right on the exit. He's an exciting driver to watch.
He's very low percentage, and I love it. Love it. It makes our job easy, that's for sure. You don't want a guy that's just going to go out there and coast around. He's giving this thing a fair old caning. Look at this. He's all over the ripple strips. Gordo, get into it, son. That's just a very, very entertaining drive. He's gapped the field. I thought that battle between Lewis and Webber and Panaccia was probably going to play out a little bit more aggressively towards the end, but nice job by Lewis to be able to stem that flow.
Yeah, Panaccia is just fallen out of that little battle at the moment. Maybe there might be an opportunity for Webber later in this race. But there you go. The final lap now as we come down. Turn number 10. 2 more to go for Ryan Gordon, and he might finish this with another win. Of course, a race 3 winner. He's had to work through the field. Electrical issues in race number 1. So he started out of 19th place in race number 2. Oh, as he locks it up and slides it in to the 2nd last corner here. Final right-hander. The number 15 comes around. He sets himself up. And you'll hear the crowd in the background cheering him as he comes over to win this final race in the Yellow Express RX-8 Cup here at the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series at Winton Motor Raceway. The checkered flag now shown. Gordon gets the win. We're waiting now for the rest of the field. Justin Barnes makes it over in 2nd position. Lewis ends up in 3rd, and Luke Webber can't get that position. He's in 4th.
Barnesy was that thrilled. He was flashing the headlights as well as he came down towards the checkers just then. Panaccia, Lewis, Shaw, Silvestro, Bragulio, back to Derwent in the top 10. And you go back then to Marty Lyle, Noakes. I think Grice will be the next one through. That was an entertaining final for the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series Round 1, the Australian RX-8 Cup Series.
Let's have a look, though, as the final results of the Yellow Express RX-8 Cup. A 10-second lead, and he gets over the line. Ryan Gordon with a commanding win over Justin Barnes, and Justin Lewis in the Yellow Express RX-8 holds on. Luke Webber in 4th position that time, the SCM Mechanics RX-8.
Marty Lyle was 11th. Jackson Noakes was 12th. David Grice 13th. William Ham 14th. Maisie Place, good job, Maisie. 15th spot, Glenn Campbell. Jamie Canellis in 17th. Ash McConchy had some issues and unfortunately a DNS for Thomas Shaw.
Let's head down to Steve.
And the round winner for the Yellow Express Mazda RX-8 Cup, Justin Barnes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What an awesome weekend. Ryan's a bit too quick for me, but that's fine. So I played it smart. But yeah, no, very happy with the win. Very happy. Been a while.
Well done. Well done. Back to you guys up the top.
And after round one, this is how the championship looks. Justin Barnes leading with Luke Webber in second, Justin Lewis in third, then it's Jack Panaccia and Ben Shaw rounding out your top five. Well, we're not far away from hearing the rumble of the TA2 muscle cars. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to round number one of the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series here at Winton Motor Raceway. We've got the rumble of the TA2 muscle cars coming your way. Wade, this race is going to be super exciting.
Into the fourth and final race of round one of the TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec, and we'll see Wodonga's WizKid Jackson Rice on the pole. Lee Stibbs will start alongside him in the Arrow Financial Services MBA Camaro. Nicholas Bates will line up at a position number 3. From 4 will be Dylan Thomas. From 5 will be the Canberra WizKid Josh Haynes, alongside fellow 18-year-old Hayden Hume. Wow, it's exciting. It's fourth row. Michael Coulter and Zach LaChalpo will share the fourth row. Aaron Tebb and Graham Cheney will be back on the fifth row.
And Brett Gardner made it all the way to position 11. How is that? 16 spots in that last
Watch
race.
him in this one too.
Hayden Jackson right behind him.
Here's a look back at what happened with Paul Hadley in the IES Motorsport Camaro. Keep your eye on the center of the pack. It's a blue and chrome car. There's contact with he and Pappas just there. Boom, that just turns him hard right. He goes across the roadway and he gets over the ripple strip. I think it might have been that return road there that rolled him over. He got sideways. Now watch it here in the background. Sideways, yeah. See how he hit that road? And that is what's launched the IES car. Pappas got a flat right front and some right front corner damage. Oh, we haven't seen this. This is on board with Hadley. Oh my giddy aunt, watch this. Round he goes here and then, oh wow. That's the first chance we've had a look at that situation from an in-car perspective for the likeable IES Motorsport team principal. And the good news was he climbed out of the car A-OK. Stibbs, the expat Pom and the Arrow Financial Services MBA entry alongside Wodonga's Jackson Rice in the Pettis Suspension Dream Racing Australia entry. Go back to the very clean number 24 Mustang of Nicholas Bates and Dylan Thomas. Boy, those boys have been at it all day, all weekend even. So here we go, waiting for those red lights to go out. And we are green. Final race of the day, final race of the round. Boy, it's a great drone shot as we go down into turn one. This looked better for Rice, no Stibbs. Oh, he ran wide there. Jackson will have a look at him up the inside. Under brakes, Pappas in trouble. Rice coming back at Stibbs as they work their way down into turn 2. Haynes coming after Bates, Thomas and Hume. And it's been an interesting opening lap already. Oh, someone off the racetrack. Is that Cheney perhaps? I think it is. So the blue and chrome entry, the IES number 51. Boy, it's been a tough day for the IES team, Matt.
Hopefully he can rejoin that. Of course, Pappas went off very early there. Josh Haynes, though, with the advantage coming at turn number 3. He got the move done on Dylan Thomas and the CXC Mustang, and now he is up into 4th position. So Nick Bates is going to have to watch out for the young gun who's moved his way up after having an unfortunate start in race number 1 with some temperature issues in the car. They've come back today and worked their way through the field, but this is ominous.
Is that LaChalpo possibly? It's a Camaro from the back and it's white. I'm not sure if Zach LaChalpo possibly. We'll have a look. There is Tebb. Gartner is one to watch here for sure. Brad Gardner, see Robinson and Lindstrom So lap 1 of 12. Lee Stibbs, your leader. From Jackson Rice, Nicholas Bates, Josh Haynes, Dylan Thomas, Hayden Hume, Michael Coulter, Aaron Tebb, Brad Gardner, and Hayden Jackson. Now, Gardner gets by Tebb. I haven't seen LaChalpo, Matty. It leads me to think that it was his car that had slowed.
I can't believe how quick they've hooked that car up. It's like they have got it off track, so we won't see any yellows down that section of the racetrack, hopefully, as we keep this battle underway. And look at Josh Haynes all over the back of Nick Bates and searching for that final spot on the podium for that third position. Hopefully he can make it. We're very early on the race, though, and see if Haynes can maybe get past and try and challenge Jackson Rice. There as he takes a dive on the inside through Bates, and they take the right-hander out of turn number 9. And
wow.
Haynes looks like he might have got that done. Will Bates be able to come back at him as they head into turn number 10? Is he going to hold on to Bates down the inside? Not enough there to get up in the inside pillar, and Haynes gives him a little bit of racing room there.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. He did. He didn't turn across him. Hayden Hume is coming after Dylan Thomas as well. I'm really glad you pointed that out, because I thought Haynes didn't shut the door. He's like, if you're good enough to be close enough there. Now look at the dodge. Hayden Hume right behind Dylan Thomas. This will be making mum and dad pretty excited. What a drive this is. Looking to make the move up the inside on Thomas. Stibbs is just right on the edge, isn't he, the whole time. Good little battle going on there. Then you go back to Coulter, Brad Gardner. So Gardner's up to position 8. Look at Hayden. Total parts plus dodge all over the back of Dylan Thomas. 3-car battle. Pair of Masters class drivers, a couple of pros in that battle as we see Stibbs. Pressure now coming from Jackson Rice. Now Jackson said, and we heard him, we're playing the long game. We want the championship. Lee Stibbs said, I'm praying to the God of mechanical failure you don't win.
And what a week coming in for him as well. I mean, we're not quite sure about the incident that happened there, but came into the week with a knee brace on as well.
Oh, Thomas! Sorry, Matt, he just ran very wide. He got on the anchors, and I think you might see Hume get through. So something definitely happened there. I don't know whether Thomas just brake checked himself a little there or something. Gardner up behind Coulter now. It was in the kitchen, mate. Jackson Rice told me something happened in the kitchen. I don't know what he was doing. He's turned the wrong way. He's twisted his ankle and his knee in the kitchen. We can talk about being a trainer.
Oh no, Stibbs has spun around here.
Oh no. Oh, that is devastating for Stibbsy. We don't know what happened. Did you catch all of it? I didn't.
No, it was just the sight there as they come out. I think they might have come together, because look at Haynes all over the back of Jackson Rice as they ignite this battle for first position. There was quite a gap there to Haynes to close that down. We'll have a look at the Hi-Tec Oils replay now.
Oh, wow.
Wait and see if we see something come up on our screens about any sort of penalties there. Hopefully it's not for Jackson Rice. He's been coming off a couple of wins here.
There is Hayden Jackson in the 81 car. Stibbs is right in behind him. You've got Aaron Tebb in there as well. It's a better result for Matt McKellen. He's up to position number 11. Maybe wifey Helen gave him a motivational phone call and said, come on, Matt, fire up. Hume again right behind Bates. It's exciting, Matt, when you look at the number of youngsters in this top 10 even. Rice, Haynes, Hume, Gardner. Tell you what, Jackson, there's a lot of youngsters.
Big step in their motorsports career when they come into the TA2 muscle car racing as well. In behind these cars, they're big, they move around on the track. A lot of work for Dylan Thomas, so he's fought back over here at Hume and gives him a little bit of a nudge. Is that a bit of payback from earlier? We're not quite sure.
Oh, wow!
That's a bit more than a nudge, Wade.
Now, what is going on here? Well, safety car. Now, this is going to be an intriguing situation to find out more about, because Matty Cav, was it a Dylan Thomas Liberace payback, or was there a problem already with Hume's car? I don't know. So let's have a look at the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series replay.
There was a lock-up there, wasn't there?
There
was
was
front there for Hume.
There was a bit of a... Now, is that there that there's a problem with the car right there? There was once or twice there, and then
He did try to go around the outside.
Yeah.
It looked like from Dylan Thomas, didn't quite go wide enough. And now he's had to go through a few more to make his way back through the pack. Let's check out some of the Hi-Tec Oils highlights.
That was Formosa getting into the side of Lindstrom just then. There was Pappas going off in the 8 car. The other one you got to think about with that as well, Matt, is the tyre conservation issue is Gardner. Because when you think about it, Gardner had his whole first race taken out. Well, there's where Cheney went off the road. I'd like to see that again somehow, to see what actually triggered that. But Gardner, he basically missed a whole race worth of wearing out the tyres when he was stuck underneath, ironically, the tyre bundle.
And there we go. Green lights, and we are racing once again. Jackson Rice will lead us away. Josh Haynes and Nick Bates, our top 3.
Gardner is up to position 5 now. The bespectacled hard charger from Panola in South Australia. He's got Coulter in behind him. Hayden Jackson is in there as well. Gardner right up behind Thomas. It is on here. Gardner, Coulter, Jackson. Aaron Tabb has been lively as well in the Waltec, number 93. Good shot. There's the back line screen. Thomas, Gardner, Coulter, Jackson, Tabb, McKeldon's up to position 9. And Lee Stibbs, after leading early, back in position 10 after that spin. He will be filthy. Now there is Cheney trying to make a drive around the outside of Hollinger. So Graham Cheney will be pretty fired up. We didn't see, did he go on his own, Matty, or did someone help him in that incident towards turn 5? We didn't really see that in the replay.
I've been having a look at Jackson though. He's been moving around for the back of Coulter, but we have a look there. We change position over here and look through. Now Coulter going through, and Jackson's been very, very loose behind him in that 7th position, trying to get some traction on those rear tyres. Pappas has worked his way back now. You can see him down at the moment. Pappas in 19th position after coming off in that turn number 1, and Coulter now throwing the rear of the car out, the Camaro. Look at it go.
He's really had a blast driving that Camaro. There's no doubt about that. Great speed shot right there. Lap 9 of 12. Jackson Rice, the only man in the 125 mark. He did that on lap number 5. Spread out just a little bit. There's been some really impressive rookies and newcomers. Stibbs trying to get by the Kubota entry of McKeldon. Gets him. Stibbs squeezes through with the Camaro just ahead of the Mustang. You got Lang in there as well. Robinson in the number 10 car. Robbo had a much better round last year here, where he played a bit of a game with slick tyres and wets and things like that, and it was a bit of a masterclass. It's not been that way this year so far in the first round of the series. So Gardner trying to get by Thomas. Stibbs, so where's he back to now? Position 9, he got by McKeldon, so he's up to position 9. When you look at his points coming into that, that'll be the interesting part about that as well. Lap 9 about to be lap 10 of 12.
Stibbs will be second. I think the points there for the round so far, if he can hold on to that position. I think McKeldon was very respectful on that turn number 3 and let him in, but have a look at this. It's still underway for in the back there between Coulter and Jackson, fighting it out for 6th position.
Oh, look at this. Quickest time is now Haynes. 1 minute 25.5521. And Josh Haynes turning up the heat. Gardner really giving Thomas plenty to think about. He goes up the inside on Thomas. Can he hold it? Will he go in? Gee, Dylan off the racetrack and dropped a couple of spots. Hayden Jackson got him. Here comes Haynes. Just wait till we get our Haynes on you. Here comes Josh Haynes on Jackson Rice. Oh, it's going to be a ripper season. How much young talent, Matty Cav, have we got on display here today?
We're expecting to see this in the first couple of races throughout this race meeting. And look, he dives down the inside. He's not going to get it done, though. And Haynes will have to just let Rice settle back into the groove as they go down the back to turn number 10. And we're having a look, a bit of a 10-second penalty there for Cheney as well. So we'll look into that a little bit later.
Yeah, not sure what that means at all. Graham Cheney. We're almost into the last 2 laps right now. Haynes has really stepped up the pressure on Jackson Rice. This is a really good battle. They've gotten away from Bates in 3rd. Dylan Thomas, not sure if it's tyre wear or something, but certainly he ran wide. Gardner got him. So here we go. That is Mike Vito right there, the MVA principal and the owner of the team that Lee Stibbs and Brad Gardner drive for. His boy's a heck of a racer in Porsches and also very handy in sprint cars as well. Genie, a 10-second penalty for a safety car restart infringement. St. Brad might have been a bit fired up. Look at Haynes. Jackson Rice having to be a bit defensive here. Boy, it's been a good race. We work our way to the cleavage. Rice has been stout, looking to wrap up the round regardless. He doesn't want to get caught up here, Matt, that's for sure.
You definitely don't want to make a mistake, and any contact made could force that car to turn around as Haynes takes another dive coming out of turn number 8.
Ooh, it's on here. I've seen Josh do this with Jet Johnson. They went after it very similarly. The Pettis suspension number 7 for Dream Racing. Up alongside Josh Haynes, the kid from the ACT. Got more pit crew on that team than McLaren Formula One. Here he comes up the inside. Rice went wide. Haynes was clever there. Last lap and we're sideways, Matty Cav.
He slid that Mustang out, didn't he, Josh Haynes? And the fight here is, can he get Jackson Rice on this final lap? The final race here at the Hi-Tec Oil Super Series for this Sunday.
Oh, no! There was contact just then. I think Haynes redressed. He definitely, I think, pulled out. You can see some damage. Missing a tooth on the normally cheeky grin of the 37. I get the feeling he laid back off the throttle not to go through. Oh, it is on. Jackson Rice needs to be really careful here, Matt. The round win could go begging here. Oh, man, it's on like Donkey Kong. Final race of the weekend for the TA2 Muscle Car Series. Jackson Rice up against Josh Haynes. And we're going at it all the way to the end. You think Haynes wants this win? Oh, Jackson's like, no. I want to go home and put an exclamation point on this. Last 2 corners. It has been a ripping race. Rice refusing to give in. Haynes on the outside. We're going to go all the way to the very end. The 7 car of Rice. Look at Haynes looking to go back on the inside. Did he get him? I think he might. They're going to go side by side. Oh, Haynes. I think he's going to pull this off. What a finish. Haynes will get the win. My giddy aunt. What a race that was. Matty Kavanagh.
All the way down to the final meters of the race. That final corner where Haynes with the crisscross gets on the inside. Oh no, he spun out on the final corner as well. That's Aaron Tebb, who was under attack there from Stibbs a bit earlier in the race. I don't know if something's happened there. But look at Brad Gardner, 3rd position. What a move from him to get back into this and get some points to start off the series.
Let's take a look at the results. I know that Matty Cav is going to be heading down to do some presentation interviews as well. God, that was good. That was a bare knuckle pub brawl. Josh Haynes, your winner by 0.19 of a second. Brad Gardner gets 3rd. Michael Coulter gets 4th. Hayden Jackson, good job on debut, top 5. Dylan Thomas 6th. Nicholas Bates 7th. Lee Stibbs drove back to 8th. Matt McKeldin inside the top 10. Nick Lang, good top 10 for him. He finishes 10th. We go back to Hugh McAllister in 11th. John Hollinger in 12th, one of his best rounds. Chris Papworth got back to 13th. Adam Hargraves 14th. Christopher Moser 15th. Greg Keane, good to see the guy from Gunnedah, got it across the line. Mick Rao, Bernie Walsh, Rob Leonard, Graham Cheney with a big penalty for a restart safety car infringement.
Fantastic weekend to start off in the first 3 races, but race 4 got turned around. What happened there?
Yeah, unfortunately heading down into the second to last corner. As I turned in, I got spun. I tried to keep the foot in and spin me back around, but it put me on the grass and you're like a Bambi on ice trying to get off the grass and onto the bitumen again. But we'll let you know the powers to be decide exactly what happened. That's not my decision. My decision is to just get in the thing and drive it as fast and as hard as I can. We obviously race in this category. Everyone speaks down the pit lane to try and be firm and fair, but give racing room. And I'll assume this one was a mistake. Obviously, lightning generally doesn't strike twice, but yeah. Unfortunately, I've come off second best in that one.
Josh Haynes, what a weekend. You've had some big challenges. Race number 1 with some engine issues, but you fought your way back, and finally that number 1.
Yeah, it's been a very, very hot weekend, so we've all been struggling out there with the car and temperatures. Obviously, the first race we got a bit unlucky and the car got a bit hot. We made the decision to retire it. But to think, race 2 was starting 25th and now we've come in as the number 1 car. So pretty excited. The team has done an unreal job. It's so special to have such a great group of people around me. The category's done an awesome job. Jackson and I had a really close battle there, and luckily I came away with the win. So I'd just like to thank Beaches Sea-Doo, Herzog Steel, Chapman Floor Coverings, SOS Recruitment, Car Bids, and Elvin Group for sticking by me. It's been an awesome weekend.
Let's have a look at the points after round number 1, with Lee Stibbs coming away in first position after a post-race penalty to Jackson Rice that puts him back into second. Then it's Dylan Thomas in third, Nicholas Bates in fourth, and Michael Bates rounds out your top 5. It was an exciting weekend of racing here at Winton Motor Raceway. Very tight in the points already, and we've seen some of our young guns not start off the way they wanted to. It's going to head north next, though, up to Darwin, Northern Territory, where they continue the fight for the championship across this 6-round series. Of course, it's Hidden Valley Raceway, Darwin, Northern Territory, April 29 to the 1st of May. It's going to be a long weekend up there. Hope you can come party with us. On behalf of the commentary team, thanks for watching. We'll see you at round number 2. That wraps up today's show, but make sure you get yourself to the track or in front of the telly next Sunday, the 16th of April, for round number 3 of the Penrite Pro MX Championship, presented by AMX Superstores. Bye for now.